Hiya, so today we are talking about Blackbeard, this guy, and yeah, I am filming in my dusty as pajamas. I'm just recovering from a back injury, so it's pajama day for me today. So one of the things about Blackbeard, you're probably actually familiar with the name. A lot of pirate stories that you'll hear about refers to Blackbeard, or they use him as an inspiration of what most pirates would have been like ruthless, and basically it'd be disposable if you were one of the crew. So this is a depiction of him. Couldn't really see many others, except for there was a couple that look similar, but yeah, there's no proper portraits of him or anything like that, but that's how he's looked at, well, imagined anyway, or been depicted. Little is actually known about him, other than he was from the 18th century, and his real name is Edward Teach, and he was probably born around 1680, around Bristol area, in England, and he went to sea when he was still young and served during the War of the Spanish Succession. It was after the war ended in 1713 that Blackbeard turned into piracy. Refusing a royal pardon, he took over a ship named Le Concorde that had belonged to a fellow pirate, Benjamin Hornigold, and Blackbeard renamed it as Queen Anne's Revenge. Despite reports of Blackbeard stealing food, liquor, water supplies, weaponry, and valuables from other ships, there are actually no accounts of him killing anyone. Terrorizing his crew was another matter. One tale has him shooting his first mates, saying, "If I don't shoot one or two crewmen now, and then they'd forget who I am." And another has him locking the crew and himself below decks and starting a fire to see how long they could survive the heat of the fire, which is pretty ratchet. Not just that, but risking, anyway, pirates logic, I guess. Blackbeard was the last to emerge, and he was roaring. I'm going to read this part straight from the thing. "Damn ye yellow-bellied sapsuckers, I'm a better man than all ye milksops put together." Tad harsh. In May 1718, Blackbeard sailed with 4 ships into the mouth of Charleston Harbor in South Carolina. He blockaded the harbor, robbing any ship that tried to enter or leave. Blackbeard held 1 crew ransom for a chest of medicines, and when it was delivered, he released his hostages minus all of their clothes. Bit nippy. Shortly after making good his escape, Blackbeard scuttled 2 of his own ships at Topsail Inlet. Views vary as to whether this was an accident or a deliberate attempt to downsize his crew and outlay. Tad harsh. So a bit of the aftermath of all of this. In 1718, Blackbeard was pardoned at Bath, which is in North Carolina, and retired to live off his ill-gotten gain. However, Governor Alexander Spotswood of Virginia did not believe that Blackbeard's retirement was genuine. He hired Lieutenant Robert Maynard for £100 to kill Blackbeard, and on 21st of November, Maynard and his men discovered that Blackbeard and his crew in a North Carolina inlet. I'm guessing an inlet is like a pub, but I haven't looked into that one. Early the next morning, Maynard began to chase Blackbeard, and a battle ensued. Blackbeard and Maynard engaged in hand-to-hand combat, and Maynard shot the pirate. He was supposedly shot 5 times and stabbed more than 20 times before he died from blood loss. Maynard then cut off his head and hung it from his bow, and was then placed on a pike in the north shore of Hampton River in Virginia at a place now called Tretcher's Point. Little fact you should know is legend has it that when Blackbeard's headless body was thrown overboard, it swam 7 times around his ship before sinking. Okay, then. I wish I had more information, to be honest, because either way, it's admirable how tough he was. If you've been shot and stabbed that many times and you're not straight dead right away, that's a strong heart. I think him saying, if I don't shoot 1 or 2 crewmen now and then, they'd forget who I am. I think that actually tells you that he wasn't, it was more like a job. It's not like in his heart. Anyway, that's just me thinking a certain way. But that's Blackbeard, and I hope you enjoyed the story. Hope you have a good night.